Hello, welcome. My name's Chantal, and I am a Hand in Hand certified instructor. We are a not-for-profit organisation. We're evidence-based and we are global. So I'm coming to you from Sydney, Australia, and I have someone here that I would like to introduce themselves, and they're coming to you from all the way on the other side of the world. So if you can introduce yourself to everyone.
Okay, my name is Rosada Martin, and I live on the north coast of California. And yeah, and I'm a hand-in-hand instructor as well.
Awesome. And when did you become a Hand in Hand instructor?
I'm newly certified. I got certified in September, so it's only been, what, 7 months or something.
Awesome. That's so exciting. I did mine in 2017, which is fast becoming a long time ago.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So I'd love to know what brought you first to Hand in Hand. So yeah, how did you find Hand in Hand? What spoke to you there?
Yeah. Um, well, when I was a new mom, I had a child, a baby that was had really big feelings, cried a lot,
Mm,
and I was just a struggling new mom. Like I was living really rurally. I didn't really have support or anybody around me to help, and I was just struggling.
mm,
I wasn't sleeping. I was having trouble breastfeeding. My baby was crying all the time.
mm,
Um, and my sister, who is also an instructor, she started mentioning Hand in Hand to me and the tools and thought it might be able to help me. But it wasn't until it was about 2 years later, when my son was about two, that I actually took a foundations course and really dove in. But she had been like, you know, sending me things and giving me tips all along. So,
mm.
yeah.
Awesome. So that's great that it was in the family, so you already had a bit of support around it and it wasn't entirely new. That's great. So we have
Yeah.
five
Yeah.
connection tools. For anyone listening. So we have special time, which is one-on-one connected, intensive time in which you just delight in your child. Stay listening is where we understand that, emotions are healthy. Sometimes when our children are off track, they need to really let out something. And if we can just come in close and warmly listen while they do that, then they can really rid themselves of a lot of tension, which then restores clear thinking. And playlisting is kind of following the laughter instead of the tears and things like that, following the giggles, as we say, and setting limits. The way we do that is with connection. So we listen, limit, listen. And then we have listening partnerships, which is where we connect with another adult and we're able to offload our tension and really support ourselves in that way. So I'd love to know if there was one particular tool that took a bit of time for you to sort of get a hold of and what helped you through that.
So the tool that I had the most like resistance to was actually listening time, because it was like the one tool that was for me. It wasn't like to put, at my child. And I was like, well, I don't need that. I just want like hard tools that I can use with my child, and like I'm strong and resilient and independent, and I don't need, help. I don't need listening time. And so it took me a while to really come around to that tool. And of course, now I fully see the value in it. And it's like, of course, that's exactly what I needed when I was struggling as a mom. Like, I just needed to be listened to. And so, yeah, that tool, it took me a while. But now I love
Yeah.
it.
That's funny because that was also the last one for me and sort of similar reasons. Also, at that time in my life, I was blessed with really close connections, and I felt like I did have a good circle of people in the midst of it all around me. And I felt like I talk enough to my friends. We have enough of that. And it wasn't until I tried listening and the guidelines for that are that obviously we don't interrupt, we don't share our experiences. We don't reference when something similar happened to us, and all those differences and nuances make it so completely different to just talking to a friend. And whilst that has its own value, it's quite transformative having someone listen just to listen and to hold that you are really good and wise and that you're going to work it out and that they don't have to help you because you're going to work it out yourself. So yeah, anyone who's also in the same boat on listening partnerships, we highly recommend you give that a shot and have a look at all of those guidelines first so that you can really go into it knowing exactly how it's going to work for you and the other wonderful person listening and vice versa. So another question I'd love to ask you is, what is something that you think is core to building connection with your child? What's one thing that today, if someone wanted to start to build and boost that connection, what would you sort of suggest to them?
Yeah, well, all the tools are so great for that, but I feel like my go-to and what I usually like recommend to people is special time. I call it the golden ticket. Like it's like you just can't go wrong with special time. Like pouring your undivided attention into your child and letting them lead the way, like has just, it's just transformed our relationship, and it can really just like bring your child out of a funk. And just because we just don't really do that as parents normally. Like we just don't really like take the time to fully focus on our
Mm.
child and let them lead the way. And so yeah, I think that's what I
Mm.
would say for like quick connection.
Yeah. And so true, because again, it's one of those things that's different to, for example, quality time. So you may be spending a lot of quality time with your child, but special time is it's intensive. You set a timer so that you both have that sort of sure expectation of it's going to be within this time frame, which means that you can then fully switch into that mode of just delighting in them, having no other distractions, and say for like 10 minutes, that's doable. So yeah, it's an elevated experience and it need only take a few minutes. It's not something that you do have to go, okay, well, where am I going to find time in my busy schedule to make this work? So I love that. This training intensive is a deep, immersive dive into our tools. You are guided, you have an instructor leading you, and you have a small group of people who are also going alongside you with that journey. And the benefit is that you get to try out the listening partnerships, and also that you have safety and you have cheerleaders as you sort of experiment and really go deep with our tools. So it's fantastic. And then from there you can also certify and become like us, hand in hand certified instructors. And I love, what's your advice for anyone considering doing that?
Yeah, well, the amazing thing about the certification process is not only are you gonna like deepen your knowledge about the tools and in doing so like improve your parenting the whole time you're in the certification process, but what I didn't realize that I was gonna get was all the built-in support that's in the certification. Like I didn't realize how much listening time I was gonna get, and just it's like hand in hand really walks their talk in the certification. Like they're not going to just let you flounder out there. Like there's built-in support. And I just yeah, I felt so much community and so much support within the program that it was like I was learning a ton, and I was also like being fully supported while I
Mm,
was going through this process, and it feels so good.
yeah. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. And that is a cornerstone, I think, of Hand in Hand, which I think is unique as well, that it's very much supporting you. And when you're supported, you can then like thrive and build community and be in the community and just do amazing things in your family and in your community. So that's great advice for anyone considering that. So thank you so much. And Is there anywhere we can find you online? Are you doing any starter courses at the moment or foundations courses? Where do people get in contact with you?
Yeah, I mean, the best way to find me right now is on the Hand in Hand website. I'm listed under the instructors, and yeah, you can read my bio on the Hand in Hand website and read about me and find me there.
Awesome. So thank you so much. Appreciate you taking time out of your evening to do this. And anyone who is watching, we thank you for joining us. And we do obviously highly recommend you joining us for certification, or there's a number of different ways to get involved. We have a lot of free resources online. Then we also have the Parent Club community, which is our subscription service, and be part of a thriving community who are practicing our tools. There's 24/7 moderation and support. There's lots of inclusions, and it's a great place to really build community, like-minded community. And then we have short courses. We have the instructor-led foundations courses for professionals, educators, and for individuals. And then, of course, we have this training intensive leading to certification, which we highly recommend you join us for. So thank you so much, Rosada, and thank you for everyone listening. We really appreciate you.